'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour, Lismore, Mooloolaba, Lambourne, Roochdore, Kilmore, Marillabah, Birdsville, Emmaville, Wallaville, Connemara, Strathround, Proserpine, Alladala, Gingin, Lilliquin, Muckdilla, Wallamilla, Bougainville, Cumberland, Ramakilla. I've been everywhere.
That's really hard to fit into those words, isn't it? That's why Yeppoon probably didn't get a mention in the song. We are, in fact, going to Yeppoon at 23 minutes to 11, or if you were in Yeppoon, of course, it's 23 minutes to 10, where we find Peter Watkins. G'day, Peter.
G'day, how you going?
Good, you got Neil here. The other one you've already spoken to is Rob.
Hey, Pete, where the bloody hell is Yeppoon?
Well, many people say it's very close to your fork, but of Rockhampton, so Rocky's a bit inland by about 40 k's, and we're right on the Tropic of Capricorn, right on in the perfect weather.
So that's a long, long way up.
Yeah, it's about 7 hours north of Brisbane. Yeah, so about way between Brizzy and Townsville.
I would have thought at this time of the year it would be the Tropic of Sagittarius. It's not the Tropic of Capricorn until the 21st. Just doing a little zodiac joke there for you, Peter. Now, we do need to talk about a football club which is dear to your heart, but let's learn a little bit about Yeppoon first. What do people do around Yeppoon apart from go to the beach?
Obviously, it's actually famous for pineapples, to be honest. So that's where the largest pineapple growing area in Australia is, and if you go in and to any of your supermarkets wherever you are in Australia, there's a fair chance that you've got a Yeppoon pineapple from Tropical Pines or a pure gold pineapple.
Nice.
Did you say chance there instead of chance? Are you from South Australia or something? I just picked that up. Was odd. You had that wonderful Queensland accent, and then you popped in chance.
I left there 36 years ago and had a heap of time in the Territory before I ended up in Queensland, but yeah, I guess there's some things that never get...
It never left. That was way out of left field.
Yeah. Wow. And so my daughter did a 2-week exchange to Rockhampton Girls Grammar School when she was in Year 9. She's now in her mid-30s, so it's been a while. And people who she stayed with were living in Yeppoon. So I'm assuming that Rockhampton is something of a central point for people who are working. Is that fair?
Yeah, look, so if people work in Rocky or want to live on the coast, obviously it's only sort of about half an hour, 35 minutes.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of kids go to Rocky Grammar and Rocky Girls Grammar and the other private schools, boarding schools in Rocky. Rocky's got 5 boarding schools.
Yeah, I suppose there'd be a few that would come, well, I'm guessing sort of Emerald, that's about the same level in Queensland, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty well due west of Yeppoon and Rocky, and all the way straight out to Longreach, basically.
Yeah, and it's a long reach out there, isn't it?
Yep, it is. It's about the same distance as what Brisbane is.
Okay, only significantly less populated, I'm tipping.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Now, we know that you've got a meeting in 5 minutes, which is why we've readjusted our timings today. So, all right, we're opening the cage door. Is there an Australian rules football team in Yeppoon?
There happens to be the national record holder of the most wins in a row, which is now 128, held by the Yeppoon Swans. And there's only been one sporting team in the world that's actually had a longer consecutive winning streak, and was a US college football team at 151.
Oh, so you're chasing them now?
The Australian, we lost about 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
11 flags in a row, and we're chasing 15, which is held by Cummins Ramblers over near Port Lincoln, which is where I was born and bred, and I was on the receiving end as a kid.
Well, that's funny, because not 3 weeks ago we spoke to a lady, Jackie Phelps, I think her name was, who is the president of the Cummins Kapini Football Club.
Football club. That'd be. I reckon I know her mum and dad.
Who says regional roundup's not a small world?
So you would be surprised. So there's 6 clubs in the competition, and we put 11 teams on the deck every week.
Seriously?
Yes, I am absolutely dead serious. We go 7s, 9s, 11s. We have 12 girls comp. We got a 13s mixed, 15s, a 16 girls, a 17s, and then Resi's, A grade, and women's.
How do you manage to push back against the rugby phenomenon up there? Because that is an amazing story.
So Harry Grant actually comes from just around the corner, and he actually had a run around with the Yeppoon Swans my youngest son, to be honest, many years ago. He didn't play too much back then, but he certainly played schoolboys footy. And obviously he captains Melbourne Storm and captains Australia and everything else in terms of the rugby. So rugby's very, very big here in Yeppoon, but we hold our own. We actually get on well with the rugby guys, and we probably actually, they're probably a little bit bigger in the juniors than what we are. But we probably got more seniors playing than what they have. So there you go.
Always important to hold your own, because if you're holding somebody else's, it's always embarrassing, isn't it?
It can get that way.
And of course, he's talking of Harry Grant.
And,
Yeah, he did so. I noticed that Harry Grant got in there instead of Grant, and that's that Timon Cummins coming out again.
Because I think the thing too, obviously there's a fair bit of positivity in the world of Australian rules football in the southeast part of Queensland at the moment. I think I'm right in saying the Lions have won the last two premierships. I'm saying that with a Geelong supporter across the desk from me, you understand. And further north, we've got Cairns and that part of the world. But I wouldn't have thought many people would expect to find Australian rules football doing so well halfway up.
Not many people do when they turn up. That's certainly fact. So Cairns has always had a really strong AFL setup up there.
Australian rules football, please, Peter. We don't use those three letters here on this show.
Well, we're indoctrinated by them now. It's quite hard to...
Yeah, and that was their intent, and it's working very well in some places, but it don't work here, because I'm not a fan of that organisation.
It struggles nowadays up here too, I've got to say, but anyway.
But Australian rules football will live on, because it's a great game, and you up there would appreciate that. But the organisation that claims to manage the be-all and end-all have got a little bit of work to do, I think.
It's really hard to argue with that.
Yeah. You know how I opened the cage to let you talk about your football club? You've opened the same cage to let him have a crack at the AFL. It only happens about once a week. Oh, hang on, how often does this show on? Once a week.
A bit more than that.
So the other clubs in the zone, in what is, I'm assuming, called something like the Central Queensland AFL, do they get? Oh, here we go. We've got Yeppoon again. We can't possibly win. Is there a bit of that going on, or are you looked up to as something to aspire to?
I'm sure they don't like us, but AFL Queensland hate us more. So to answer your...
That's a feather in your cap, Peter.
I think what we've done, and without a doubt, is upgraded the standard of the footy over the last 10 or 15 years. We don't pay players or anything like that. It's all about wanting to be. You build a culture of a club, and then people want to become involved. I'm sure they don't like coming to Yeppoon, because we've been strong for the last sort of 10 or a dozen years. But we were on the receiving end for a long time before that, and a club called Boyne Island Tannum Sands Bits. Have always been a very strong club, the Bit Saints, and then Gladstone. So those two clubs are a bit over 2 hours south of us.
Yeah.
So given that the under 13s kick off at 8:30 in the morning, kids leave home a bit after 5 to go down so it's a long day at the footy. And then there's 3 clubs in and around Rockhampton.
Well, the next time the Collingwood supporters are having a whinge about the fact they've got to travel all the way from the MCG to Marvel Stadium, we're going to tell them about the Boyne Island, Tannum Sands and Gladstone sides, who must love playing against one another.
Lost last year. One of their retired players got lost last year, Shane Swan. And he ended up at Boyne Island and played against us. He done a sports in time, as he does obviously all around Australia.
Yeah.
And they played against us, and we lost a couple of games last year, and as they say, it takes a swan to beat a swan, and they did beat us. So some of those Collingwood fellas find their way out of town, but not very often.
Yeah, only when they're lost. Hey, Peter, it's been a great chat, and we've got to let you go because you've got a meeting to get to. This is my pathetic attempt to slide an ad in because we don't do ads on community radio. We will be doing a podcast next year, Peter and I, amongst a whole lot of other people, called the A to Z of regional footy, and Yeppoon is going to be there representing the suburb of Zilsey, because I couldn't find another place that had a Z. So we'll talk to you then, but in the meantime, have a great Christmas, have a great break, and go Swans.
Good on you.
Good on you, Pete. Thank you very much for your time.